But the borough has taken action to enforce the approval that you apparently sat and saw them give last time. That's what's cited in that notice of violation.
They're in violation right now of the last code. They were allowed to build the second floor. That was their outdoor dining.
Yes,
So, and with the COVID.
and the borough shares that position.
I'll give you a couple of years. I went to the mayor 2 years ago, and the mayor said to me, oh, the governor. No, it's the council's decision. It's not the governor's
Well,
decision.
there's been a new mayor here for a couple months, or actually 6 weeks, and there's already been a notice of violation issued week 2.
They're listening to me because it's not fair. They were showing special preference to one business in Bradley Beach, just one. And all of us were suffering. We had, people had to change their hours, lost business, wages. It's not fair, it really isn't.
Well, all I can talk about is today, and you've seen the process issued, and us take action based on the zoning approval. It's everything you just said, right, is happening.
Thank you.
So that's all we can do for you, and I'm sorry it's not down today, but that is what the maximum is, and that is the position of the borough that this permit
As long as the borough is on top of it and whatever, if they have to be fined, whatever, because I know if it was me, they'd be coming after me.
But like that said, we don't tell the code enforcer what to do, but a notice of violation has been issued and expired.
Yeah, we do.
Well, they have.
If you have policies, procedures.
I'm sorry, so you can't just call out, you can't just call out, all right? I understand you're angry,
I
but
apologize.
we're trying to help you.
Say your
so
name
come
and your
on.
address, and you're more than welcome to speak.
Stephen Bartlett, 312 Main Street. If you guys have policy, procedures and codes, are we dealing with like a qualified immunity thing for code enforcement where he has discretion? If it's written down in black and white, is it the town's position and also your position that what is written down doesn't really mean anything until the discretion of the guy enforcing it? I'm
I
confused.
think you're totally misunderstanding.
No. Okay, then please explain it to me. If the code enforcement has discretion when it comes to enforcing code, and the code says if 310 Main Street can't have their upstairs dining with a parking lot that is required for 18 spaces, granted, well, spare you the details of how it should be 36 due to the occupancy. What is the discretionary reason from the code enforcement and or the town or somebody with some perceived position of authority? Where do they get off? What is the reason for discretion when it comes to this? If the code is written and there's a violation that's clearly there, what is the discretion for enforcement?
The discretion isn't about enforcement itself. Think about a police officer, right? Police officers, when they pull you over, they have discretion. If you were speeding and they meet with you, they don't have to give you a summons. They have discretion.
Correct.
In the case of Darcy's, because that's obviously what we're talking about, a notice of violation was issued back in the middle of January sometime. They were given 30 days to cure it. 30 days expired yesterday. The question is, do they start fining them on the first day after? Well, that's really discretion of the code enforcement. So as the attorney said, the ownership of Darcy's has not ignored things. They haven't blown us off. Have they done it as quickly as that said? No, it hasn't, obviously, because you can go there and see it. If they do bring it down, what we are looking for with code is compliance. We're not looking to necessarily fine people and harm them financially. We're looking for them to become compliant with the existing zone.
Louann Bartlett, 312 Main Street. And here we are. I was here 2 months ago and 310 Main Street is still not settled. So I want to know how you can put forth a resolution when you have a court case against them pending. Can you answer me that question? Can anybody answer me that question?
What resolution are you?
You have a resolution on the docket tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, you said 310 Main.
Yeah, 310 Main,
Okay.
that's
Darcy.
Darcy's. Mhm. So I have no problem with, well, I do have a problem. I have a problem that shell is still up, those outdoor buildings are still there, and I don't understand why. This is having a substantial financial impact on all businesses on the 3 and 200 block of Main. And you obviously don't care about us. You're showing special preference to one business, okay? Now, I do know that you couldn't spot zone or whatever it's called, and you lumped in Marandolas and Uvas. And it says right here that Marandolas can serve food and beverage in certain parking areas. And it says the same thing for Uvas. But in Darcy's, it says the whole parking lot. How is that possible? You're breaking your own codes. He doesn't have a handicap parking space place there. What else? It just goes on and on. You are in violation for the ADA compliance. You need a handicap parking space. Am I wrong, sir? Because you can tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I got wrong information from the ADA.
Well, I think the only, just to help you understand the process tonight, when you say, we are in violation or we are responding to an application that's been made by each of these businesses as to whether or not we are willing to create a special event that enables them to get to the land use board.
Sir,
Well, that's what
that
we're
has
doing
been up
tonight.
there for 5 years now. It started for COVID, and then no one all winter. We could have had parking all winter. Why do you allow it to stay up all winter when it's not in use? I don't understand for the life of me. Please explain it to me, Mr. Mayor. I don't know. And one another thing was, last Saturday or Sunday, I'm in Bradley Beach, and the staff is parking their vehicles under the tent. Parking is horrendous in Bradley Beach, you know that. And I said it before, 2 months ago when I was here, you weren't here, Mr. Mayor, I said, you wanna put it up in the summer, put it up in summer. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but for summer, yes. But why is it sitting there all winter and not being used? And my business is suffering. You could come look at my books, Mr. Auditor, because my business is suffering, and there's a bunch of people here that their businesses are suffering for it. I am down. Okay, so can you help us out? Why are you showing special preference to one business? Just answer me that question.
First of all, we haven't voted. Secondly, we're not showing special preference.
Okay,
A business made an application and they applied for parking, another applied for back of their building.
okay, I'll rest it there, but the other thing I'm gonna ask of all 4 or 5 of you, hi Jane. Jane, always like Jane, she's a fair person. I wanted to poll everyone and say, do you think this is fair? The inequity and the unfairness to the other businesses, all in Bradley Beach, is not fair. Can I poll you, Jane? Do you think it's fair, what's going on?
I think right now it's comments and
Okay, okay.
we'll
So
vote.
my last comment is, please, I know I'm upset, but it's been going on for years. I started this thing in September with emails to all of you. I think you weren't there maybe, sir, and you two weren't there. But I started it in September because I knew in November it was over, that they were gonna take it down. So I ask you not to vote on Darcy's tonight. You can vote on Uber's because they're only using a couple parking spaces. You can vote on Maridella's because he's in the back of his building. But do not approve Darcy's. It's not fair. Can you let us make some money? Thank you. Thank you.
The comments? Yes.
Enough is enough. 5 years. And although I do love to speak to Mr. Doherty, I want it to be public. So, last month I was here, I know you all heard me. So my question is, we're now into the 4th month and what is going on?
So if you recall, Darcy's was issued a violation back in February. They had a court hearing in the beginning of April that was adjourned.
Correct.
Until tomorrow, actually May 7th. They're in the court hearing. They have not applied for any variances yet with the land use board. They were issued another notice of violation today. they'll be receiving for enclosing a second floor deck on their property. That was issued by Ted Bianchi, our zoning officer. So that's sort of where we are with them at this point.
Okay, so the cooperation isn't there, obviously. That's where we're at. There's 18 parking spaces. It's supposed to be, it's zoned as a parking lot. And I just don't understand why all that stuff is still there. I don't know. Nobody wants to help me. Okay.